This is the worst.
Well, I just finished watching Microsoft's 2019 E3 conference, and I'm really only left with one big question. And that question is, where are the games? Where are the new games, Microsoft? I know that there's some people who were anticipating that I'm going to go on some rant video talking about how terrible Xbox is, but I'm not going to do that because that's just not really how I feel. I don't really feel anything because anybody who's taken time to watch a few of my videos talking about my expectation for Microsoft's E3 conference this year, you'll know that this is exactly what I was expecting. I had very little hope that Microsoft was going to come on stage this year and show me a slew of new and exciting, fresh experiences, new games that look amazing, that get me excited, that I'm going to turn on my microphone when it's over and gush over them. Nope. Not at all what happened. I feel as though that Microsoft really messed this one up. And for anybody who thought it was a good show, that's fine. I could see how maybe some people thought it was an okay show, it wasn't that bad. I don't see how anybody could see it as a great show or an amazing show. I mean, maybe if you were very excited about Halo Infinite, okay, maybe Gears 5. But I think I speak for almost, I don't want to say everybody, but most gamers when I say that the biggest thing we were looking for when it comes to Microsoft's E3 2019 conference were new games. And I'm not talking like small, indie-like games. I'm talking like the big games, the games that people have been asking for a while now. And we didn't really see that. We got The Outer Worlds, which, okay, it looks good, but it's a multi-platform title. You can literally get it anywhere. And it does look good, yeah. That's going to be launching October 25th. We got confirmation that Bleeding Edge is the game that Ninja Theory is coming out with. You guys already know my thoughts on that. And frankly, it seemed to me like after watching this show, that was the big new game that they had to show, guys. Bleeding Edge was it. I don't recall seeing anything else of substance. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is why I am just not there with Xbox anymore. I see these Xbox guys hyping up Phil Spencer coming out here like a week before E3 saying, we have 14 Xbox Game Studios games. And while that may have been true, I didn't even remotely get excited because I already knew that most of them were just games we already know about. Expansions, DLC to games that have been out for a while now. And I was right. We got Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That's coming out February 11th of 2020, and that looks good. And I think that game is a reason for people to be a little bit excited. But again, it's a game we've known about. And it's not a huge title either. But that doesn't necessarily mean it'll be a bad title. I think Ori looks pretty solid. We had Minecraft Dungeons, spring 2020. Bunch of third-party games, which I'm not even going to go over. Because I would say when it comes to third-party, the coolest thing, I have to say, the one part of their E3 show that really made my jaw drop was when Cyberpunk 2077 was being shown off and Keanu Reeves showed up. I mean, that was pretty awesome. I have to say, I'm very surprised that CD Projekt Red was able to get Keanu Reeves on board with their game, and it really just made my hype for that game specifically go through the roof. I have to say, for me, that was actually, I'm not even kidding, the high point of the show. I was really stoked by that. But we saw Battletoads for a little bit. I don't care. I don't care about Battletoads, man. Like, that's just not what I'm trying to look forward to. It's not. Let's see. We had some Game Pass announcements. Metro Exodus is going to Game Pass. That's pretty cool. We saw something Microsoft Flight Simulator. Don't really know what that is. Certainly wasn't excited for it. Wasteland 3. I think when it comes to studio acquisitions, people were expecting a few. We only ended up getting one, and it was Double Fine. So if you're excited about that, I guess that's a reason to be excited. Personally, haven't really played many of their games, but hey, you know, who knows? It's more stuff, I guess, for Microsoft to have to show in the future. We got Gears 5 releasing September 10th. We didn't even get an extended gameplay look. It was just, well, we kind of did, but it was like it looked like a CG trailer. So I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it, honestly. It was a little bit just like kind of, wait, why are you not showing more of the story and a section of the campaign or something, but or the multiplayer or whatever. I don't know what they showed. They showed something like called Escape. Wasn't excited for it, honestly. Elite Controller Series 2, cool. If I played on Xbox more, maybe I'd be excited for it, but I don't anymore because Microsoft just really lost me. So I'm not really looking forward to that. One of the cooler things they did show, I have to admit, was the expansion for Forza Horizon 4. That was pretty cool. It's going to be a Lego expansion. They actually took time to show Gears Pop, a mobile-only game. I want to take this time to acknowledge that not a single game that came from Microsoft Studios or Xbox Game Studios, not a single game they showed off on their stage was exclusive to their Xbox console, but they actually took the time to show off Gears Pop, which is exclusive to mobile only. Just want to make that clear here, okay? Moving on from that, State of Decay 2 Heartlands, again, a game that's been out for over a year now. It's hard to get excited. It's hard to get excited. It's nice to see they're going to continue to support the game, but still really difficult to get excited. They announced Crossfire X, whatever that. I don't know what that is. They showed another CG trailer, and by the end of it, I had no clue what the game was. So there's that. It's coming in 2020, only on Xbox, apparently. Then we had the big console reveal, the Project Scarlet. And you know what, guys? I've been there. I've done that. They handled it the exact same way they handled the Xbox One X. And listen, if you want to be excited for Project Scarlet, go ahead. You know, it's something you should be excited for. But it's just, you know, we expected this. We knew we were going to hear more about the console, right? And it feels just like the Xbox One X all over again. And I can say that as somebody who heavily followed and supported the Xbox One X. And it's just, honestly, my feelings towards them showing off or talking more, Phil Spencer talking more about their next console, would have been through the roof if I saw a bunch of new games that got me excited beforehand. But we didn't. We didn't get that. I saw Bleeding Edge, and that was about it. And so I couldn't really get into what Phil was saying, especially after already knowing we got some of the soft specs, which is exactly what we got with Project Scarlet here for the PlayStation 5. And they sound pretty much identical, regardless of whether or not Anaconda ends up being, or if that's even still a thing, Project Scarlet is what I should call it now. Regardless of whether or not that ends up being more powerful than the PlayStation 5, that's not going to matter to me at this point. It's really not. And they ended it with the big Halo Infinite showing off, and it looked good, yeah, and I think Halo fans definitely have a reason to be excited, but I'm sorry, like, this wasn't that good. It just wasn't. I honestly can't believe that this is what Xbox fans were hyping up. Trust me, as somebody who has been really hard and at sometimes even just making fun of Xbox, of course I get a lot of flack from people who are Xbox fans, especially the hardcore. It's understandable and that's expected. But some of the stuff that a lot of these people have been saying, like, they really try to hype it up, man. And I used to buy into it and I used to hype it up myself, and I realize now that there's nothing there, at least for me. Like, if you are excited for Halo, then maybe the show was good to you. If you're excited for Gears 5, maybe the show was good to you. Maybe if you're excited for Ori, just seeing that little new trailer and getting a release date, maybe that was enough for you. But where are the new studios? I mean, we saw Ninja Theory, and that's it. We saw the Outer Worlds, which we already knew about. We didn't see anything new. That's the point here. There was nothing, barely anything new. And if Microsoft actually thought that Bleeding Edge was going to be their big new game that they're going to show off and get people hyped with, it really just goes to show how out of touch they actually are. They talked about xCloud and stuff, but I'm not even going to bother talking about that because I don't care about that. I tune into E3 for the games. I really do. And everybody made it sound like, well, not everybody, but a lot of Xbox fans really made it sound like Sony was really doing damage to themselves by not showing up at E3, and they were giving Microsoft the entire platform to themselves and really giving them a big opportunity and a wide gap. And I will admit, they did. They really did. And Microsoft, in my opinion, dropped the ball big time here. This show should have been, and I never use this term, off the chain. It really should have been. And it felt as safe as it could possibly get. And that doesn't get me excited at all. I feel literally no different about Xbox right now after watching their almost 2-hour E3 conference compared to how I felt before going into it. I won't lie to you, though. Going into it, there was a part of me that thought, maybe this is it, man. Like, for a brief moment there, like, this is it. They're gonna really bring it home this time. If I'm being honest, I think last year's show was actually better. And that's saying something. That really is. Now, notice, I'm not ranting. I'm not crying in this video because I'm not trying to make it one of those videos. I'm not trying to make it sound like, haha, Xbox, what a failure, haha, Xbox. It's not that, because you know what? I'm a gamer, and really, I just wanted to go into this showing and be surprised and be delighted and be excited. And I really thought that maybe I'd be sitting here giving my thoughts on their E3 showing and talking about some new games. Maybe talking about the second project, the supposed Fable game that Playground Games is working on, which we know they're still working on it. But I thought, man, if there was ever a time to even tease it, it was right here, right now. And they didn't. And they didn't. Maybe I can be excited next year if they decide to show it at next year's E3, but that's a year away from now. And I'm going to be doing a lot of gaming in between now and then. I mean, they announced that Project Scarlet is coming holiday 2020 alongside Halo Infinite. No surprises there at all. I mean, it's nice to hear it officially, but I'm sorry, like, this wasn't very good. It really wasn't. I just can't believe they left it, they played it this safe. And I haven't looked at anybody else's reactions. Like, I wasn't on Twitter or online or seeing how people are reacting. I really don't know. This is just my thoughts, like, just off the cuff, my first gut reaction to what I saw. And it's just disappointing. But at the same time, I don't mean to make that sound like, oh my God, I'm so let down. Like, it's not, because again, like, I didn't go into it with a lot of expectation. My disappointment really came when I found out about Bleeding Edge. Like, you know, to anybody who's excited for that game and is looking forward to it, more power to you. But I was just expecting something different, and it's just disappointing to see that, man, like, I really wanted to play something from Ninja Theory, and Hellblade was great, and I was hoping for something different, and it's just not going to be that way, and so I'm going to have to wait even longer. And that, for me, just feels like what it's been with Xbox for a very, very long time, and that's why I decided I'm kind of done with Xbox to an extent, because I'm just tired of waiting. I'm just tired of waiting. This was the time for Microsoft to show up and show the games. And when I say games, I mean the new games. The things that will get people excited. I understand that Halo is big for Microsoft, but the fact that them launching Halo Infinite as their big launch title with the next Xbox, that's their thing. I understand it, and nothing against Halo, but we've reached a point in time, Microsoft, where it's time for something new. I'm not saying that you can't launch Halo with it or that you shouldn't, but it's time for something new, and something that's just as big as Halo, but is new. Something fresh, something exciting. I've been saying it for so long now, and it's just not happening. So, yeah, guys, that does it for the video. I just wanted to get my initial thoughts and feelings out here. Overall, I think Microsoft really dropped the ball with this year's E3. I I've witnessed all the hype and excitement that the big Xbox hardcore fans were bringing out here. And what was it for? What was it for? Because I don't know. I didn't see it. If there was anything to be truly hyped about, I didn't see it. I really didn't. I expected more from Microsoft. I expected better, but I guess, you know, I guess I set my expectations right this time, because when I say I expected it, what I really mean is I just wanted to see it, and I didn't. And that's going to do it for the video, guys. I have nothing more to say about it. So, yeah, leave me your thoughts down below. What did you think about Microsoft's E3 2019 conference? How are your feelings on it? Were you actually excited for it? Or, like, were you not let down by it? Or were you feeling the same way I am right now, where you're just like, that was not very good? I will be very interested to see what you guys have to say. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed it or if you agree with what I had to say. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon as well. And feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.